Hi, this is Petra from Sharing Yoga, and today I'll be sharing with you yoga for menstrual pain. Menstrual pain is very common, but it does not mean that it's normal. Fortunately, there is yoga to help us regulate our menstrual cycle in a natural way and to bring relief on the days when we need it most. For today's practice, you will need a couple of props to make yourself really comfortable. So we'll be using bolsters. You'll need one or two of those. You can always use pillows or cushions that you find around the house, folded blanket, a strap or a belt or a scarf, and two blocks. You can always use books, boxes, or small stools that you find around the house. So get yourself ready and I'll see you on the mat. We will start our practice in constructive rest, lying down on our back. So lie down on your back, keep your knees bent, feet a little wider apart so you can rest your knees against each other. Gently extend the back of your neck. Take a few wiggles to make yourself really comfortable here on the ground. Bring your hands on top of your belly. You can open your palms and touch down where you might feel tension or pain, connecting with your womb, with your uterus. And if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And we're going to start focusing on our breath, taking a moment to tune in. Bring your awareness into your belly and try to soften your belly, relax your belly, so it can freely move as you breathe. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Allow every exhale to bring a new sense of relaxation and restoration into your body, into your mind, and into your heart. Take a moment here to observe how you are feeling today, physically, emotionally, and perhaps even spiritually. As you observe what's going on inside, remember there's no need to judge or to criticize or to change anything. We're learning to be a witness to what's going on in our body and in our heart, knowing that this is how it is right now. Bring your awareness to your belly and the touch of your hands on your skin. Feel the warmth of your hands penetrating through the skin into your uterus. And feel the gentle caress of your hands on your belly. Feel the belly rising and falling under your hands as you breathe. Let's take a few moments here, just melting into the ground, trying to surrender a little bit more with every exhale, and take a little bit more space with every inhale. We'll take 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, bring your arms overhead. Give yourself a nice stretch. Feel free to stretch your legs as well. Just like you do in the morning. Feel free to yawn. And then as you exhale, bring your arms back down. Keep your knees bent for the next pose. Supta Padangusthasana B. We will use a strap that we will hook around our right foot. For more accessibility, you can keep your left leg bent, or if it's comfortable for you, stretch your leg and then bring your heel to the ground, toes pointing up. We'll be holding onto the strap with our right hand, shoulder stays relaxed on the ground, left arm comes down on the ground. Reaching up through the heel, feel free to bend your knee slightly. As you exhale, take your leg to the right. Now here, if it doesn't really feel comfortable, you can either lean your leg to the wall, to a chair, or you can grab a bolster and put it under your thigh. And this way the leg can rest on the bolster. We'll take a few breaths in here. The whole practice is a cooling practice. We're not trying to achieve anything other than a pain release. You are on your period, so allow yourself to rest. Take this pose in the most passive way possible. Use support. And we will do this throughout the entire practice. With your next inhale, bring your right leg straight up. As you exhale, release the strap. Take the bolster or whatever support you are using over to the other side. Hook your strap around the left foot. Reach up through the heel, micro bend in your left knee, holding with your left hand. And with exhale, we're moving to the left. If your opposite knee is bent, just take it to the right so it helps you keep your pelvis in the center. Again, try to find a way to support your legs so you can release a little bit more, perhaps more than you are usually used to in your practice, allowing your body to rest. With your next inhale, you can bring your left leg straight up, right knee back to center as well. Release the strap, put it on the side. And we're going to slowly come into seated. So lean to the right side or roll to the right side and then push yourself up to seated. For our next pose, we will need a little bit of a setup. I like to use 2 bolsters here. Mine are rather small, that's why. Perhaps yours are thicker, you can use just one. And I put one on top of the other, with the top one being a little bit more further at the back. And then I use the blanket at the end of the top bolster, and I prepare my blocks on each side of the mat. And I'll use the strap as well, so we're really using everything here. Sit down close to the bolsters, bring your feet together, and then release your knees, each one to their side. Take your strap and make a loop. We're going to put this around our body, sort of close to your tailbone, and then it's going to come forward so we can hook it around our feet. This will help us to keep the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. So here I pull to tighten the strap a little bit more, and if it feels uncomfortable for your groin, you can use the blocks under your knees for a little extra support. Now lowering down onto the blocks, onto the bolsters, chest nice and open, adjust your blanket under your head, make yourself comfortable here, and then release your hands on the ground. You can also use more blankets or blocks under your hands as well. Or if you have space and it feels comfortable, you can bring your arms overhead, hold on to your elbows. Take your time, wiggle a little bit, and try to find a position that feels truly comfortable so you can relax and release your body into the support of the cushions. And we will take about 2 minutes here. So if at any moment your arms feel uncomfortable, feel free to bring them back down if they are overhead. Your belly is nice and soft. Relax your body. Relax your mind. And here we are not only opening the chest, but especially stretching the belly and stretching the inner thighs, releasing tension that might be accumulating there due to your period. This is a very restorative pose. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice how it's flowing through your nostrils, tickling in your neck, and then moving your belly, and then moving out from your belly through your throat and out through your nostrils, this time a little more warm. We'll take 5 more breaths in this pose. Feel your shoulders getting heavy, dropping towards the ground. Your body nice and open, yet relaxed. One more breath. With your next inhale, you can very slowly and gently lift yourself up to seated. We will adjust this posture or position a little bit. You can remove your strap. Take your blocks to the side, and we will bring your knees together just for a moment and then cross your shins. And we will move back into the reclined position, this time with our legs in a cross. So lie down over your bolsters. Feel free to adjust what needs to be adjusted. And here too you can use the blocks under your knees for extra support if it feels uncomfortable without them. And let's close our eyes again for about 10 breaths in here. Your breath is soft and steady, calm. There's no need to breathe more. You can always try to lengthen your breath without trying to breathe more. Or just allow your breath to flow on its own without your contribution and your control. Whatever feels good for you right at this moment. We'll take 2 more breaths. Then with your next inhale, slowly and gently push yourself up to seated. And we will just change the position of the legs. So the one that was in the front comes at the back. This might feel a bit awkward. Give it a go. Bring your blocks back under if you're using them. Lie down for 10 more breaths in here. Allow your chest to open. Arms are down on the ground, palms facing up, or you can bring your arms overhead, even here. soft and steady breath with your belly relaxed. Two more breaths in here. And then slowly come up into seated. You can put your props on the side. And we will come into Adho Mukha Virasana, so a variation of a child's pose. Spread your knees a little wider, and then we're going to walk our hands forward, bringing our rib cage down onto our thighs. Reach as far forward as it's comfortable. If it doesn't feel comfortable, know that you can always take a bolster, bring it under your chest, or take a block to put your head on top of a block instead of the ground. And whichever support you are using, bring your forehead on top of your support or on the floor. We'll take a few breaths in here, about 5. Your bum is resting on your heels. If it isn't, slide a blanket in between your legs and your bum. We're bringing relief into the lower back, and with a gentle compression of the belly also to the belly. We'll take 2 more breaths. Expanding as you inhale, relaxing as you exhale. With your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back up into seated. Slide your legs forward for Janu Shirshasana. In Janu Shirshasana, seated forward fold, you can use a blanket under your bum, especially if your hamstrings feel a little tighter, and you can always bend your knees. So I like to use my blanket here. Hips keep pointing forward, and then we're going to bend our left knee open to the side. Bring your foot towards the inside of your right thigh. Right heel is straight down into the ground, toes pointing up. Feel free to bend your right knee and even slide a blanket or a bolster under. And I'm gonna baby reach for my bolster here. Take yours as well. And we're going to put it over our shin with a block nearby. We will see what we will use. As you inhale, lengthen from the spine, and then as you exhale, lean forward, leading with your chest, and then gentle curve of your back, bringing your chest forward, your forehead towards your leg. You can rest your forearms on the bolster, reach for your foot and rest your forehead down. If this feels like too much, it's not comfortable, take a block, put it on top of your bolster, rest your forehead there. You can choose any level of the block that works best for you. Takes a few adjustments. Take your time to make yourself really comfortable. As you inhale, reach through your spine, through the crown of the head forward. As you exhale, give in to the pose, release into the pose. So we are semi-passive here. Our body is still working, trying to keep us in this posture, but at the same time, we're trying to find a certain level of relaxation and repose. The aim of this pose is not only to release our lower back, gently compress the belly, and stretch the inner thigh on the leg that is open, but especially to release, to relax the nerves, soothe the nerves, and relax the brain. We'll take 2 more breaths in here. And then with your next inhale, you can push yourself up into seated, and we will change sides. So take your props to the side for a moment. Bring your left knee up and then stretch your left leg. Bend your right knee open to the side. Your hips are always pointing forward in this pose. Left toes pointing up. Bring your bolster on. If you're using it maybe with the block, it's a little bit of a balancing pile. Inhale and lengthen from your spine. Exhale, reach forward, forearms resting on your bolster, forehead down on a block, bolster or blanket, whatever you are using. With inhale, find length. With exhale, release a little bit more into the pose. One more breath. And as you inhale, slowly come up. Take your props to the side. And we will move into Upavista Konasana. Starting in upright seated position, you can still use blanket under your hips to lift them up a little bit more, or a bolster for a little bit more height. Spread your legs wide, perhaps not your widest possible, just comfortable wide. And point your toes up to the sky. Let's take just 2 breaths in here to get used to this position. And then we're going to move into a side bend. So take a bolster and put it vertically on you over your shin, just like we did before for Janu Shirshasana. You may need to use the block as well, so keep it nearby. As you inhale, lengthen. And then as you exhale, turn your shoulders to the right and lean towards your extended leg. Your left sit bone stays down on the ground. So if you start if you start feeling it lifting, you can either stay here without even using the bolster, or if you feel like you have space, you can come more forward, resting your forearms on the bolster and resting your head down. Find support for your head. So either the bolster or a block on top, double bolsters, pillow. As you inhale, find length in your upper body. As you exhale, surrender a little bit more into the pose. 5 breaths here total. With your next inhale, slowly rise up. Take your props with you. Come to center and over to the other side. So as you exhale, turn to the left. You can place your props here and start leaning to the side and forward. See where you come. Maybe this one works a little more, maybe less. Resting your forehead down. Find a way to support your head. One more breath in here. And then as you inhale, come back up into seated. Come into a cross-legged seat. We will take a simple twist. We're not trying to twist very deeply or too much to not to overcompress the belly, but a gentle twist to unwind the back will be helpful. So left hand onto your right knee, right hand behind. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, very gentle twist. Look back over your right shoulder. Relax your belly, breathe into your belly. With your next exhale, come back to center and over to the other side. Right hand over left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. With every inhale, you can lengthen a little bit more, almost coming out of the pose. With every exhale, find a little bit more of a twist without pushing too far and too deep. And then as you exhale, come back to center. Stay with your shins crossed. Inhale, lengthen from your spine. And then exhale, walk your hands forward in front of you. Coming onto your forearms, if that feels good. Your sit bones stay on the ground. And here you can grab a block or a bolster and support your forehead. So if you can reach all the way down to the ground with your forehead without lifting your sit bones, feel free to use no props. Otherwise, you can stay on your forearms with a block, or even higher variation with a bolster, hands on the floor, resting your forehead even here. This one's actually very nice. One more breath in here before we change legs. And as you inhale, gently push into your hands to come up. Switch the position of the legs. The one that was at the back comes to the front. And then again, as you exhale, come into forward fold, resting your forehead on a support of your choice. With your next inhale, slowly come up. And we've made it all the way to the end and to Shavasana. So I will ask you for your Shavasana, feel free to use bolsters under your knees to keep your knees slightly bent, or make your Shavasana in constructive rest like we did at the start of our class. Find a position that feels good for you and keep yourself warm. Today we have released tension from our belly, thighs and lower back, and rested the brain and soothed the nerves. I hope this was helpful for you. Now take your time in Shavasana. Take at least 10 minutes, and I will see you on the mat another time. Thank you.